Most people are sheep, docile, naive, easily manipulated. They walk through life with their heads down, following orders, begging for approval, terrified of confrontation. They play checkers while the masters of the game are playing 4D chess. And guess what? If you're not playing the game, you're being played. This world isn't built for the honest man. It's not built for the guy who tells the truth, waits his turn, and hopes people will do right by him. That guy gets left behind. He gets stepped on, lied to, passed over, and betrayed. The world rewards those who know how to move in the shadows, who can influence without being seen, control without appearing to control. This is where Machiavellian intelligence comes in. No, it's not about being evil. It's not about backstabbing or being some cartoon villain twirling your mustache in a dark room. That's childish nonsense. Machiavellian intelligence is about understanding power, how it works, how people operate, and how to position yourself so you always come out on top, no matter what. If you want to lead, build wealth, dominate in your career, or navigate complex social hierarchies, you need this. Not want, need, because raw talent isn't enough. Being a good person isn't enough. Being smart isn't enough. If you don't know how to play people, you'll be played by people. Let me be clear. The people who run the world, they aren't the kindest. They aren't the most talented. They're the ones who can anticipate moves, read people's intentions before they speak, plant seeds without ever being seen watering them. They don't react emotionally, they engineer outcomes. They move like ghosts in a system built on influence. Now, here's the hard truth. If you've ever felt like you're being overlooked, underestimated, or outmaneuvered, it's probably because you are. You're playing by the rules in a game designed to reward those who break them smartly, not openly, not recklessly, smartly, strategically. So what is Machiavellian intelligence really? It's the combination of psychological mastery, strategic thinking, emotional control, and social manipulation. It's understanding that every interaction is a power exchange. Every room has a hierarchy. Every person has a weakness. And it's not about becoming a manipulative sociopath. It's about learning the rules that no one teaches you. The silent codes of dominance, the invisible language of status. It's about building a sharper brain, a stronger will, and an unshakable position in any environment you walk into. Because when you develop Machiavellian intelligence, you stop chasing approval. You stop reacting. You stop getting blindsided by betrayal, competition, and politics. Instead, you become the architect of your outcomes. You become the man people respect or fear, but never ignore. This is how you stop being a pawn and start thinking like the king. We're about to break this down step by step, real actionable principles you can apply today. And I promise you this. If you absorb these lessons, internalize them, and use them wisely, you'll gain a psychological edge most men never even dream of. So if you're done being the nice guy who gets used, if you're done watching other people win with half your talent, if you're done living in a world that doesn't reward decency unless it's backed by force, pay attention, because we're about to weaponize your mind. Principle 1. Understand that everyone is self-interested. Here's what most people don't get. Nobody cares about you more than they care about themselves. Not your boss, not your coworkers, not even your friends. People act based on what benefits them, period. The guy smiling at you in the boardroom, he wants something. The girl complimenting you out of nowhere, she's setting up a play. The coworker asking for help. Just this once? That's a test, a probe. to see how much of your time they can extract without giving anything in return. This isn't paranoia. This is reality. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you gain power. Machiavellian intelligence starts with understanding this cold fact. Everyone is playing for themselves. That doesn't mean they won't help you, but it means every move, every alliance, every compliment, there's a motive behind it. It might be subtle, it might even be unconscious, but it's there. So what do you do with this information? You stop expecting loyalty from people who have no reason to be loyal. You stop over-investing in relationships where the return is zero. You start thinking like a strategist. Every connection you build must be mutually beneficial or controllable. That's it. You observe people. What drives them? What do they fear? What do they want? When you understand what someone wants, you can control their behavior without lifting a finger. You offer value, but with a leash attached. You help, but only if there's a gain. You connect, but never blindly. Stop thinking everyone's your friend. Start calculating how they fit into the bigger picture. Principle 2. Say less than necessary. Words are like currency. The more you use them, the less valuable they become. Weak men talk too much. They explain themselves. They overshare. They fill the silence because they're uncomfortable with not being heard. But power lives in restraint. Machiavellian minds understand that silence is a weapon. If you speak less, people will hang on your words. If you choose your statements carefully, every sentence hits harder. And more importantly, by talking less, you reveal less. You become unpredictable, mysterious. That makes people nervous. Silence breeds curiosity, and curiosity creates leverage. When you walk into a room and observe, instead of talking, you're already ahead. When you respond with calm, deliberate words while others are rambling and exposing their weaknesses, you gain the upper hand. When people don't know what you're thinking, they can't prepare against you. Don't give your strategy away by talking. Let people wonder what you're planning. Let them try to guess your next move and guess wrong. Because once they show their hand, you can play yours perfectly. Discipline your speech. Make your words count. Let your silence work for you. Principle 3. Control emotions, especially your own. This is the one that separates the amateurs from the elite. Your emotions are the easiest way for others to control you. Lose your temper? You just showed them what button to press. Get flustered under pressure? You just gave them the manual on how to dominate you. Act desperate? You just handed over your power. Machiavellian intelligence means emotional control at all costs. You must master the ability to stay calm in chaos. You must train yourself to think clearly when others are panicking. Because the man who controls his emotions controls the situation. And this doesn't mean you become cold or robotic. It means you use your emotions. You don't let them use you. Anger, desire, fear, jealousy. These are powerful forces, but they must be channeled. When someone insults you, you don't react. You smile, you remember, and you plan your response with precision. When you feel jealousy, you don't lash out. You let it fuel your ambition. When you're afraid, you sit with it, analyze it, and move anyway. The moment people know what rattles you, they can trap you. But if you're unshakable, they can't read you. They can't manipulate you. They can't beat you. The Stoics said it best: he who angers you controls you. In the Machiavellian world, that's gospel. You need to walk into every situation with a controlled mind and a calm face. Even if your world is burning behind your eyes, No one should know. They should see a man in control, composed, collected, dangerous in his silence. When you master your emotions, you become untouchable. Principle 4. Learn the art of strategic disguise. If people can see your ambition too clearly, they'll either compete with you or sabotage you. That's just human nature. Nobody wants to help someone rise if they feel threatened by that rise. So you have to learn one of the deadliest skills in the Machiavellian playbook. Conceal your intentions behind a friendly mask. You don't show your hunger. You don't reveal your full capabilities. You present yourself as calm, humble, cooperative, even passive if needed. You blend in, but behind the scenes, you're outworking, outthinking, and outmaneuvering everyone. This is chess, not checkers. You don't let people know you're coming until it's too late. While they're sleeping on you, thinking you're harmless or average, you're building leverage, building skill, building power. And when you strike, it's fast, clean, and unexpected. Look at history. The most successful leaders weren't the ones who shouted their plans from the rooftops. They were the ones who smiled in public while plotting in silence. They played dumb, acted slow, pretended not to know. Then they took everything. Let the fools chase attention. Let the loud ones show their cards. You play the long game. You stay quiet and you move sharp. Master the art of camouflage. Principle 5. Use people's desires against them. People are predictable. At their core, most are driven by a few primal needs: validation, status, money, sex, comfort, attention. If you know which one controls someone, you can guide their behavior like a puppet on strings. This isn't manipulation for fun. This is about strategic influence. If you want to win, you must learn to appeal to what they want, not what you want. Let's say you're in a negotiation. The average man talks about what he needs. The Machiavellian man identifies what the other side craves and frames everything as a path to that craving. That's how you win. That's how you make others move without resistance. You don't argue. You seduce. You don't demand. You offer incentives that lead them to do what you wanted all along. And the beauty? They think it was their idea. That's real power. You have to study people. Watch how they respond to compliments. Notice what makes them insecure. Observe what they chase and what they avoid. Once you know what fuels them, you can wrap your strategy in the exact packaging that will bypass their defenses. Think like a marketer, not a soldier. Influence is more powerful than brute force. If you control what they desire, you control what they do. Principle 6. Build leverage ruthlessly. Leverage is what separates kings from peasants. If you walk into any room without leverage, you are a beggar, no matter how much charm or talent you think you have. What is leverage? It's anything that gives you negotiating power, influence, or control. It could be specialized skills, a powerful network, money, secrets, reputation, information, scarcity, you name it. Machiavellian intelligence is not just about manipulating people. It's about building leverage so you don't need to beg or plead. You don't ask for opportunities, you make people need you. You position yourself so that removing you would cost them more than keeping you. If you're in a job where anyone could replace you, you have no leverage. If you're in a relationship where you need the other person more than they need you, you have no leverage. If your income depends on one source, and that source gets cut, you're done. So what's the solution? You must become valuable and difficult to replace. That means developing rare skills. That means building multiple income streams. That means becoming socially connected in ways others aren't. It means having something other people want but can't easily get. And once you have leverage, you protect it. You expand it. You don't flaunt it. You use it quietly, efficiently, and only when necessary. Leverage is like a loaded weapon. You don't show it unless you plan to use it. Never find yourself in a position where someone can destroy you with a single decision. That's how weak men live at the mercy of others. You're not here to live like that. You're here to dominate your environment, build leverage, or get used to being disposable. Principle 7. Anticipate moves before they happen. Amateurs react, masters predict. This is one of the sharpest differences between a man who survives and a man who thrives. Most people are always on the back foot. They're surprised when things go wrong. They're blindsided by betrayal. They don't see conflict coming until it punches them in the face. But the Machiavellian mind? He sees 2, 3, 5 moves ahead. He reads behavior patterns. He studies how people respond under pressure. He pays attention to the energy in the room, to the shifts in tone, to the body language, to the silences between words. He's not just living in the present. He's scanning the field, constantly. You must learn to think like a tactician. If you want to stay ahead, you can't just think about your next move. You have to think about how your move changes the board, how others will respond, and what chain reaction that creates. That means studying psychology. That means being hyper-aware of social dynamics. That means knowing what kind of person you're dealing with and forecasting their behavior based on patterns, not emotions. Let me make it simple. When someone compliments you out of nowhere, you ask yourself, why now? When someone is overly friendly, you question, what do they gain from this? When someone suddenly distances themselves, you don't chase them. You calculate what just shifted. You don't just play the game. You read the room, the players, and the future. And that gives you a strategic edge most men will never develop. Because if you can anticipate behavior, you don't just survive chaos. You control it. Principle 8. Never play fair. When winning requires ruthlessness. This is the part that makes weak men uncomfortable. They want to believe that if they play fair, work hard, and follow the rules, they'll be rewarded. That's a fantasy. The real world doesn't operate on fairness. It operates on power, influence, and precision. If you're not willing to get ruthless when necessary, you're not ready to win. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean breaking laws or hurting innocent people. It means playing to win without apologizing for it. It means being strategic, not sentimental. It means understanding that sometimes you have to cut ties, walk away, or pull the trigger on a hard decision with zero hesitation. You will have to outmaneuver people who smile to your face and talk behind your back. You will have to walk into rooms where everyone wants you to lose and still find a way to come out with the crown. You will have to protect your name, your power, and your territory like a man who knows what's at stake. Ruthlessness isn't about aggression. It's about clarity. It's about not flinching when it's time to act. It's about choosing power over comfort. It's about staying sharp in a world full of soft men who fold the moment things get hard. If you're not willing to be ruthless with your time, energy, and relationships, you will lose to someone who is. You want to outsmart everyone? Stop waiting for permission. Stop playing by rules made to keep you tame. Start acting with calculated aggression, deliberate intention, and unapologetic drive. The throne is taken by the man who doesn't blink first. Most men are out here living like prey, ears up, eyes wide, scared of stepping on toes, hoping life gives them a break. But here's the truth. Life doesn't hand power to the polite. It hands it to the prepared. It hands it to the strategist, the one who knows how to read people, build leverage, stay silent, move smart, and strike with precision. Machiavellian intelligence is not about being evil. It's about being effective. You can still have integrity. You can still lead with purpose. But now, you do it with an edge, a dangerous edge, because you're no longer reacting like a fool. You're no longer exposing yourself like a fool. You're playing the game at a higher level. The world is full of talented men stuck at the bottom because they never learned how power really works. Let that never be you. Master these principles. Make them your operating system. Train your mind to move with strategy, not emotion. And above all, remember this. The man who sees the game clearly, plays it ruthlessly, and controls himself absolutely, becomes unstoppable. If you're serious about leveling up and dominating your life with precision and control, show some respect by hitting the like button, subscribing, and locking in for what's coming next. Because this is only the beginning. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and remember, intelligence is only power when it's weaponized. Your move.